All right, it says determine if the value is positive, negative, or zero. And so let's start by kind of sketching our coordinate plane again. And remember in quadrant one that all, the cosine, sine, and tangent are all positive. Here in quadrant two, we have quadrant two, we have sine is positive. In quadrant three, we have tangent being positive, and here in quadrant four, we have cosine being positive. And remember that one of our ways to remember which order it goes in is the little phrasing of all students take calculus. So there we go. That's what we got to kind of keep in mind as we're going through. And one thing that might help is remember that this here is 0 or 360 degrees, or 2 pi. Over here is 180 degrees, or pi. Here's 90 degrees, or pi divided by 2. And here is 270 degrees, or 3 pi over 2. And with that all in mind, let's go through them. I'm going to do A, and then I think after you see A, try to pause it and see if you can do the rest on your own. Then just come back to check your work afterwards. So negative 5 pi over 6. Remember, first off, the negative means we're going to go clockwise instead of counterclockwise. And so negative 5/6, that's going to be somewhere between 3 halves and 1. It's so somewhere over here. And later on, we'll learn about converting those more exactly, but somewhere over here is where that angle will be. It's gone negative, so we're going clockwise, a little bit more than 3 halves pi, but not quite to 1 pi yet. And that is going to be tangent that's positive here. So this cosine value has got to be negative. All right. And then again, yeah, really do pause, go through, see if you can figure out the rest of these, kind of going through that same process. Okay, so I hope that you've paused it now at this point and are coming back to check your work. So sine of 200 degrees, that's past 180, but not quite to 270. So again, into quadrant 3. In quadrant 3, it's tangent that's positive. And so, yeah, we're into quadrant 3. And tangent is the only one that's positive, so sine is going to be negative. All right, C here, it says negative 400 degrees. So as soon as we went, oops, let's see here. Get rid of that line. So negative 400 means we're going to go around one full cycle, and then another 40 degrees. So we're back into quadrant 4 at that point. And in quadrant 4, it's cosine that is that's positive. This is sine, so this is in Q4, and it is negative. D, it says 4 pi over 3, and that is going to be, so a cosine 4 pi over 3, that's more than 1 pi, but again, not quite to being to 3 halves pi. So somewhere in quadrant 3. And at quadrant 3, tangent is positive, so once again, we are negative. All right, and then negative pi over 3. Negative pi over 3, so that is going to be just a little bit down. It's not even to 3 halves quite yet. And in here in quadrant 4, and where cosine is positive, this is sine though. So quadrant 4, we are at, we're negative again. Negative. All right. And sine of pi. So pi, hey, that's right on our axis, and so this is neither positive nor negative. Sine here, the y value, remember up or down, is neither one, so it's going to be just 0. It's not positive or negative. All right, hope that helps. And we're actually, let me kind of comment on this real fast, that if we had, let's go back to let's go to B here, where it's 200 degrees. So that's going to be into tangent, or actually we don't have tangent. Let's do cosine of negative 5, 6. And so that got us into quadrant 3. That's also quadrant 3. Let's get one that's quadrant 1, or 2 rather. I think if we had the sine of 100 degrees, okay, that would get us past 90 and get us into quadrant 2. Remember that the sine is talking about the y value, and so that's why here in quadrant 2, the y value would be positive, so sine is positive. So you can have positive, we just happen to have examples that were all negative. All right, I hope that helps.